Hey everyone, David with Your Machine. Today we're going to cover three things. So first, we're going to learn how to set up and run traffic campaigns on Facebook Ads Manager to drive traffic to your Spotify account. Two, we're going to learn how to set up Facebook Pixel using conversion ads on either a third-party landing page service or your own domain. For example, I use Wix in this video to not only drive people to your Spotify account, but collect important data on them on their way there. And then three, I want to discuss kind of the merits and drawbacks of traffic ads versus conversion ads to see which one might be better for you and your own needs. And then in a later video, I'm going to discuss this little test I'm doing between conversion ads and traffic ads to see which one performs more efficiently, but we'll cover that later. So for now, let's talk about the difference between traffic and conversion ads, right? So traffic ads are all about volume and performance, right? So basically in the ads that I demonstrate today, a video will show up on someone's phone, it plays my song for a second, they swipe on the video, it takes them over to Spotify. Short and simple, right? Versus conversions, they may send less people, right? Because there's a third party in between, there's this landing page they've got to go to and then make another decision. But the important part for conversions is that you can collect data on people and maybe retarget them later. You can also retarget people through traffic campaign ads using video views, but I'll discuss that in a future video. This is kind of a long video, so I'll put some timestamps below in the description to help guide you. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, so let's create our traffic campaign in Facebook Ads Manager. Click on Create, then click on Traffic, click Continue. There are going to be 3 pages of information that we enter here: the campaign level, the ad set level, and then the actual ad level. Okay, so we're going to start on the campaign level, the first tab up here. You need to provide this with a title that you're going to remember. Describe what it is. I'm going to compare this to Pixel or conversion later. I like to do the date to stay organized. There is not going to be any special ad categories for music promotion. Auction is great, traffic's good. We're not going to A/B test. We're going to do campaign budget optimization on. Going to be doing $5 a day. Click next. Again, we're on the second level here, which is the ad set. Let's go ahead and label this accordingly. Want to select website, it's already selected. Leave dynamic creative off, offer off. Like I said, I already have these set up, but let's just say I wanted to do this. Today's Friday from maybe 5 p.m. and just run it through the weekend. So I would schedule this to end on Monday. Of course, if you're just doing a test campaign, you should probably do it for at least 7 days. But I've already done test campaigns, so I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, so now we're going to create our audience. Let's look at locations first. Most people are going to market to specific countries. You can click on Add Locations in Bulk, and then click on Countries. I market across 3 different markets. I have my top, mid, and low priority markets based on earlier data from my test campaigns. I know the song was most popular in my top market, so that's who I'm going to market to in this example. Copy and paste those, match locations, click Add Locations. Okay, so now we've got all of our countries in here. Just double check, make sure they're all correct. For age, in this case I have previous campaign data, so I know that people from 13 to 24, 25 are most likely to like this song. But if this is a test campaign for you, the first time you're doing it, just leave it open from 13 to however high it goes. Okay, so here's something really important. We want to do detailed targeting, and the way we do this is we want to find people that are actually going to like our music, right? And one of the best ways to do that is find fans of other artists that might like your music. And so as I said, I have some saved stuff here. I know through audience insights research that fans of these artists right here might like my music, okay? And I want to reach fans of these artists because they might like my music, right? But we want to narrow this audience down because we don't want to just reach random fans. We want to reach people that also have Spotify, right? Because we're doing Spotify marketing right now. And you can narrow or exclude further, but you don't really want to do that. Do not want to check this. And like I said, you can save this audience so you can come back to it, especially if you're going to split it up across markets. Okay, so this is important. We're going to do manual placements. So we're going to follow Carl Hitchborn's model. We're only going to be marketing to Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and Messenger stories. All right, this is important too. You want to make sure that for the traffic campaign, we're doing link clicks. If you don't have this set up to do link clicks, it won't track the data that you need. Okay, so let's double check everything. Website, off. Got your schedule, your countries, your age range, your affinity artists, targeting people with Spotify. We manually placed these across these 3 platforms. Great, we're going to click next. Again, we want to label this as well, because later on it can get confusing. And so to do Instagram stories, obviously you have to have an Instagram account linked to your Facebook, so that way it can advertise through that platform. We're going to do a single image or video. Don't worry about adding Insta experience. We're going to add a video. I already have this video made, and basically what I did was I just found some stock footage on either Pixabay or Pixelme, and I created this ad that says swipe up with a Spotify logo. And this is a sad breakup song, right? It's a cover of Kid Leroy's Without You, so super sad. So the girl's sad, it's relevant. So if you're going through a breakup or real sad or something about somebody that dumped you, treated you poorly, and you see this, hey, you might be likely to click on it. So aspect ratio is important. You want to make sure this is 9:16 ratio, however you did this. Okay, so we're going to leave the text blank, headline blank, website. We need a website URL to go to, and of course we're going to the song Without You. Copy song link. Because whoever clicks on the video or swipes up, we want them to go to the profile and save the song and hopefully follow us, right? We don't need, and we don't need a display link. Call to action, this is important. You want to make sure it says listen now, that it says swipe up, tells them what to do. You want to make it really easy on them. And so don't worry about the pixel and stuff for this one. We're just driving people from either a video you made or an image you made straight to Spotify. And so right here is where we would click publish, and then Facebook will review it. I would suggest that after you click publish, you go back through each page of your ad here and make sure everything's correct, because the first time you do this, it can be confusing. Okay, so let's talk about setting up conversion ads. So if you want to run a conversion ad, first you've got to link your Facebook pixel to your landing page. And so if you need to do that, go up to Business Tools, Events Manager. You'll need to already have your Facebook Pixel ID set up. If you don't have that set up already, I've put a link to a video in the description below that will walk you through that process. We're going to go to Settings and Open Event Setup Tool. Okay, so here we're going to put the URL of our landing page, right? Let me show you mine. So this is my landing page. Super simple, straight to the point. Basically, you want to make the user experience very easy to go from the ad to this page and hopefully guide them from this page to your Spotify. Now, this is a little bit more complex than the traffic ad because it's one more click that they're going to have to do, or maybe 2 clicks if you're sending them somewhere else. But the advantage of the conversion is that we can track extra data about people who visit this page and people who are converted and not converted. So let's copy and paste this in the event setup tool. And so this is how you're going to set up these events for Facebook to track. As you can see, mine are already set up, but just to walk you through the process, I'll just delete the click here, and we'll just re-add it. So you're going to click on Track button, click here, and you're going to set each of these up as View Content. And this is what's going to show up later when we look at test events to make sure that Facebook is receiving information when people click on this landing page. And if you are using Wix, it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and look at this on mobile, just to make sure, like, this is super simple, right? So when people are on their phone, they swipe up, this is what they're going to see. And you don't want to make it overcomplicated. You want to make it, short and simple, sweet and simple. Just, basically one button takes you there. Now, if you're using Toned In or another landing page service, you have the option to send people to, SoundCloud and Bandcamp or wherever you want to send them. So you'll have to set a conversion event for each of those up, but just make sure everywhere that you want people to click or that people can click that you set this up so Facebook can track it. And if you are using Wix or your own domain, you can set this up as a custom conversion, and let me show you how to do that real quick. So if you want to set it up as a custom conversion by copying and pasting the HTML code as a tag into the Wix header of your landing page, you can go over here to Data Sources, go down to Custom Conversions. As you can see, I have already created one, but I'll just run you through the process real quick. So you're going to click on Create Conversion. Just call this Spotify Conversion, or whatever you want to call it. And you want to make sure your Facebook pixel ID that's attached to your website is selected. And then you're going to enter the landing page URL here. So copy and paste that. Then click Create. It's going to tell me that I've already created one, which I have. But if you haven't created one, then it will go ahead and walk you through the setup process to verify your domain. And basically, to verify your domain, Facebook will give you a link, and you'll have to copy and paste that link on this page. So if you wanted to paste it in here, you'd go to Settings on your landing page, and let's see, which one is it? Then you go to Advanced SEO, and you would click Add New Tag. As you can see, I have my Facebook domain verification meta tag already in here. Okay. Now, if you want a step-by-step video on how to do this, I've also put a link to a video in the description that will walk you through verifying your domain and tagging your site with this meta tag, or your landing page with this meta tag. Okay, so let's check and make sure everything is working on our landing page and sending the data to Facebook. You're going to want to click on all the links just to double check. So this one is going to send us to the Without You cover on Spotify. That's great. Anywhere there's a link, you want to check it, whether it's going to iTunes or SoundCloud. Okay, this is working. And while we're clicking on these, this should be sending data over to Facebook. Okay, and to check that, we're going to go back to our data sources over here. You're going to click on test events, and as you can see, all these clicks are being registered here, right? And so it's telling us whether somebody just landed on the page, right? Or did they, view the content? And it's also telling us our Spotify conversion, right? So now the view content and Spotify conversion are the same thing, but remember we just set these up two different ways. So if you don't have a custom domain, you're only worried about, the page view and whether they clicked on the link to go to Spotify, right? But if you have a Wix account or your own domain, then you can set it up as Spotify conversion, which all that means is that they clicked on here, right, to go to your Spotify. Or view content means that they clicked on here to go to your Spotify. And the page view means they got to your page, but maybe they didn't click on it for some reason, right? And so you can collect data on these people and retarget them later. That's one of the benefits of the conversion campaigns. Now, one of the downsides is there's a lot more that the user has to do, right? So on the traffic campaign I showed you, basically, people just swipe up on the video, it takes them right to Spotify. But you can't collect as much data on the people that way. But you can retarget them later with video views, but I can make another video on that. So yeah, everything's working, and now we're ready to set up our conversion ad. Okay, so next we are going to create a conversion campaign using Facebook Pixel. This is a little bit more involved process. So we're going to click on Create, then Conversions, click Continue. All right, I want to label this accordingly. So I'm promoting the Without You song, and this is, we'll just say Pixel because we're comparing this to the traffic later versus traffic. Do today's date. Again, no special ad categories. Auction is great. Make sure this says conversions. Not doing any A/B testing. Click campaign budget optimization on. I'm going to do $5 a day for this campaign. Click next. Again, stay organized and label your stuff. Alright, so website's fine. We're going to select a pixel. We'll talk about setting that up in a little bit. This is what I have my pixel attached to my Wix domain. And we're going to choose Spotify conversion because that's the conversion event we have set up. Dynamic creative will leave off. Offer will leave off. Again, let's set up our date range. We'll do today, 5 p.m. and schedule it through the weekend. Again, you want to take into consideration days and times of the countries you're marketing to. And since I've already saved this audience, I don't have to go through this again with you. So I'm just going to click this. This is going to populate my location with my top market countries, my preferred age range, my affinity artists, and I'm going to narrow it down to make sure that people have Spotify. Same thing here. We're going to do manual placement across only Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger stories. And so we're going to deselect everything else. Yep, make sure this is set to conversions because we want to track people who actually went to our Spotify and listened to our song. And again, you can label these whatever you want. I'm just being really specific because I'm comparing these two campaigns. Again, you want to make sure that you have an Instagram account linked to Facebook. If you don't know how to do that, you can find another video on that. Single image or video is great. No Insta experience. We're going to add the video. Make sure your video is in 916 before you upload this, because that's what's preferred for phones. No primary text, no headline. And the website URL, of course, is our and the website URL, of course, is our landing page that we want to go to. So people are going to go from this video to the landing page and then to Spotify, hopefully. It is a little bit more complicated than a traffic campaign, but you can also collect a little bit more data, so that's why I'm comparing these to see which one is better. Of course, you want this to say listen now. And again, this is clearly labeled with swipe up, listen now. There's a little arrow. You want to make it really easy for people. All right, so that's all I have for today. Like I said, I'm going to compare these two different campaigns later. So I'm going to let them run over the weekend for a few days, and then I'll come back and I'll give you guys a report on how well they did and compare them in terms of actual results. And if you guys have any questions or anything wasn't clear in the video, or if there's anything you would like me to cover that I haven't covered, just let me know. Leave a comment below.